Hey guys, AJ here. Today we will be talking about my predictions for the fast approaching Book of Boba Fett. I recently did a blog post on it on our website, HoloNetMarauders.com. You can head over there if you want to read more about it or check out more of our blog posts from our other writers. So let's hop into this. For anyone who wants to go in fresh and doesn't want to be spoiled, or you're avoiding trailers or something like that, please be warned, I will be discussing stuff we've seen in the trailers. I'll be discussing a spoiler/leak that we reported ourselves last year, and we'll get more into that. First off, we'll be talking about the Sarlacc survival. So ever since we saw the return of Boba Fett, we knew he survived the Sarlacc pit from Return of the Jedi. That was obvious. But a lot of fans want to see, how he survived. How did he get out? Did he just claw his way out of there? Did he shoot his way out of there? Did something else happen? We don't know. We don't know how exactly he survived. So in the trailer, we see like a hazy horizon with Tusken Raiders walking. That could be anything. But a lot of people are assuming that is the Tusken Raiders stumbling upon Boba Fett. And, from there, maybe he's nurtured by them, and we get to see a behind-the-scenes look of the Tusken Raiders once again. And that's one thing I really love that The Mandalorian has done. We've gotten to, these Tusken Raiders aren't just savages or something on Tatooine. They're people. And, that kind of balances out with culture in real life. We get to see behind the scenes how these people do things, how they live, their different styles. And Mandalorian nailed that. That was so cool to see that in that show, season 1 and 2. We got to see Cobb Vanth, who hated them, kind of come around on them. And that was super cool to see. So I think it'd be really interesting to see Boba Fett do the same kind of thing. And, maybe they take care of him and bring him back to strength and, he takes off after that or something. Because we do see him with a gaffy stick in Mandalorian Season 2. So if we have some sort of flashback, that would add up to how he got that. There is a shot in the trailer of Boba Fett using what looks like a Bacta tank. So I don't think that is from the Sarlacc part, like him surviving that. I think that's a lot later in the show, or in the middle of the show. He goes to, somewhere on Tatooine and maybe takes care of himself. He needs an extra boost after some recent events. That's what I think. The second thing, I guess this is sort of a prediction, that there's going to be some sort of war in the crime world, it seems. In one of the recent TV spots, Fennec Shand says, "These are just the first wave. They're going to war," which Boba Fett then says, "Then we will be ready," or something like that. So who exactly is going to war here? We know in the trailer that they're surrounded by these mysterious looking shield wielders, is what I'm calling them. And we don't know who those people are. If they're just another crime, or like Zerka Corp or something like that, some corporation. So they're definitely a big deal in the underworld, and we'll find out about that. But it's pretty interesting. Is Black Sun out there? Prince Shizor, we'll get to him later. He's one of my odd predictions. He's involved. We see Boba is possibly trying to form an alliance over a nice dinner with some other leaders in the crime world, it looks like. Or, maybe political leaders. It's hard to tell. We don't know yet. And he talks about ruling with respect rather than ruling with fear, like Jabba did. And there's probably going to be some conflict with that, and it's not going to work out. And maybe someone's going to try to play Boba, because he's not used to this role of being a crime lord of any sort. He's new to this, and he's probably going to get played. That's kind of my prediction with that, and we'll see how it goes. That brings me to my next thought, which is Cobb Vanth, baby. Give us some Cobb Vanth. The fans want Vanth. So Boba knows that Cobb Vanth is a marshal, so he could be someone that he could probably trust. Maybe Boba doesn't trust too many people other than Fennec, or even Din Djarin. But he knows Cobb Vanth is probably a loyal guy. He's fighting for the greater good. And it's kind of interesting, like, would Boba go to him for help if he needed it? If he was duped, like I kind of mentioned before? The other question with that is, Boba seemed to know where his armor was during Mandalorian Season 2. Why didn't he do something about that? Why didn't he just go in there and take out Cobb Vanth, or, beat him up, take his armor back, or something like that? Does he hate Cobb Vanth? Does he respect Cobb Vanth? It's very, very interesting. That's another big question I think people have, is what is going on there that Boba didn't want to go interfere or start a conflict with Cobb Vanth? Is it because he's a lawman and he didn't want to get on the bad side of the law? Who knows? But could we see Boba and Cobb team up? I think absolutely. Maybe not at first, but as the show goes on, like I said, if Boba needs help, he could be someone they could make a deal. Like, oh, let's clean up some crime. In the end, helps out Mos Pelgo as well, and Cobb Vanth would want to be involved with that. He's too good of a character to not involve, and it takes place like in his backyard. So, Lucasfilm, if you're listening, and I know you are, wink wink, give us Cobb Vanth. Another person that could appear in this, or should I say big person, is Black Chrysanthemum. And if you don't know who that is, he is a very large Wookiee bounty hunter that was involved with Dr. Aphra. He's most famous for appearing in the Dr. Aphra comics, which are just amazing. Some of the best Star Wars comics out there, in my opinion. And this is the thing we leaked a little over a year and a half ago. Matt and I released a YouTube video. You know, we had an inside source that knew someone that saw Black Chrysanthemum on set. And at the time, we thought it was Mandalorian Season 3, which, with all the code names going around, it's hard to tell what's what. They kept Boba under wraps because no one knew about Book of Boba really until the credit scene of Mandalorian Season 2. So I think that's like 99% sure. Maybe I'll say 95 to 99% sure that Black Chrysanthemum will be in Book of Boba Fett. It'd be pretty insane to see Boba take on Black Chrysanthemum, you know, a giant Wookiee. But I'm rooting for, you know, maybe he takes on Black Chrysanthemum, you know, he might be working for someone else, and then eventually Black Chrysanthemum comes around and works on his side as well. So far on our all-star lineup, we have Boba Fett, Cobb Vanth, Fennec Shan, and Black Chrysanthemum. I mean, that's a possibility. I like that a lot. And while we're at it, let's just add another person to this team. Din Djarin. I think we're going to see Din Djarin, the Mando himself, in Book of Boba Fett. And I don't know, we have no idea what he's up to after Season 2 of Mando. It's, you know, he's Grogu-less now, as I like to say, which is pretty sad to think about. And I don't know if he's with Bo-Katan or what he's doing. But one thing we know is he has the Darksaber. And he likely has contact with Boba Fett, having spent a solid chunk of time with him. So, like, will Boba Fett be in trouble and, you know, reach out to Din Djarin for help as an ally? Or will Din Djarin hear about it and come help Boba Fett or something, looking for another favor? Who knows? But just imagine a scene where Boba's surrounded or pinned down and we hear the Darksaber ignite and it just pans up to Din Djarin looking over him. I mean, that would just be amazing. Final prediction is one I brought up earlier in Prince Xizor. And once again, if you don't know who Prince Xizor is, he is the lead antagonist of Shadows of the Empire, the 90s awesome video game involving Dash Rendar. So Xizor is the leader of the Black Sun. And a spicy fact about him recently is that he appeared in the Crimson Reign comic just by name. He's brought up in a meeting with Kira, and she says, "Pass it along to Prince Xizor with compliments from Crimson Dawn. Just remember us when the credits start rolling in." So that takes place during the Galactic Civil War. But now Prince Xizor is once again like officially concrete canon. And a lot of things that appear in comics don't end up appearing in live action or, you know, any sort of show or movie for Star Wars, it seems. But hey, I'm holding out hope that whoever's going to be the lead villain of Book of Boba, I'm hoping it's a familiar face. I mean, it could be anybody. Who better than Xizor? Probably a lot of people, but give me Prince Xizor against Boba Fett for getting some turf in the galaxy. Give me that. But yeah, these were just some random predictions I did for Book of Boba Fett. Some of them, you know, are layups, probably stuff we're going to see, and some of them are far-fetched, like Prince Xizor. But what do you guys think? Do you like my predictions? Are they not good? Do you think they'll happen? And what do you guys have as predictions? Let me hear them in the comments. Please like and subscribe, guys. May the Force be with you.